Doodlings Doodlings. Did you know that 17.7 million people are celebrating a birthday on any given day of the year? And that you are sharing your birthday with 20.8 million people? That means 3.1 million people per day do not celebrate their birthdays. Which is totally fine. There can be many reasons not to celebrate one's birthday, religious or otherwise. However, birthday celebrations have somewhat religious roots. Going a long distance back in the temporal dimension, somewhere around 3000 BCE, an Egyptian pharaoh was being crowned. This coronation is kind of a second birth to him. A birth as a god, or a godlike figure, as ancient Egyptians believed. So, each year, on the same day, they will celebrate the coronation as the birthday of their pharaoh. This was a time in which there were 0 to none calendars in people's homes. Also, there was no universally accepted date-month system. So, when people wanted to find a specific date in a given year, they had to look for other ways. As an example, Buddhists all over the world celebrate Lord Buddha's birthday. But the Buddha was born around 2600 years ago, and there were no paper calendars at that time. But almost every civilization knew that there were 12 moon cycles per year, and it happens to be that the Buddha was born on the full moon day of the month of May. So, even though now we might be able to calculate the exact date of the full moon day of May 623 BCE, people continue to celebrate the birth of the Buddha on the full moon day of May each year. Speaking of the moon, we now come to moon cakes. No, not these, but these ancient cakes made by the Greeks, which came with lit candles on top of them. Yeah, you see where this is going. Ancient Greeks used to celebrate the birthdays of their gods, in many different ways. One such way is how they celebrated goddess Artemis's birthday. As she was the goddess of the moon, she was offered cakes made in the shape of moon with candles on top, to resemble moonlight. One thing led to another, and we have ended up having quite strange customs. Anyways, birthday cakes were not a part of birthday celebrations until quite recently. By the 18th century, Germans had a tradition of having children's parties known as Kinderfeste. These were the earliest known birthday parties where kids blew out candles on top of cakes. And oh, I forgot to mention about the Romans. While cakes were not included, Romans were the first to have birthday parties for common people while other cultures were busy celebrating the birthdays of their gods. This is all we got to know from historians with access only to whatever the limited sources of information which didn't get buried with time. But hey, that's still fine. Do you know what is not fine? Imagine of a situation where you are very sick, but you are unable to afford medicine which could save your life. Or think of a situation where parents can do nothing but keep looking at their small child connected to life support and wishing for a miracle, because they don't have enough money to do a transplant? That is not fine. That is why I decided to use this channel to get every bit of support I can muster, to raise funds for poor families who cannot afford healthcare. I will keep doing videos just like this how I have been doing. I do not want to change the topics, the style, or your beloved AI voice. But what I will do, going forward, is that I will donate a considerable portion of whatever the future income I get by creating videos just like this. I am actually not big, right now I have around 1.2k subscribers. But this number was achieved much faster than I expected, all thanks to you, my viewers. So I have high hopes that this community will grow a lot in the future. So, for now, I will focus on helping one country, my favorite, Sri Lanka. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Sri Lanka has lost its main source of income, which is tourism. This made the people who are surviving on a low income even poorer. Some of them cannot even afford one meal per day, let alone healthcare. Yes, Sri Lanka has a free public healthcare system. But that doesn't mean you can get a kidney transplant for free, or even get chemotherapy for cancer in time without being in months-long waiting lists if you cannot afford to pay a non-government hospital. A lot of lives can be saved, and little children can be kept from being permanently disabled, if we can support urgent medical fundraisers. That's why I joined Patreon. You may already know what Patreon is. It's a platform where you can support your favorite content creators by pledging a monthly amount. As an example, you can become my patron on patreon.com and support me with $1 each month so that I can keep making awesome content for you. All patrons get benefits such as exclusive content and early access. My higher-level patrons can even get their own doodle videos made by me and appear in video credits. But what I am doing differently here is that, for each payment I get, I will donate a predefined amount, as mentioned under different tiers in my Patreon page, to verified medical fundraisers to support life-saving surgeries etc. So, if you become my patron, you will not only support me keep this channel alive, but also get to be a part of a noble cause helping poor families in rural Sri Lankan villages get much-needed medical treatment. So, please take a look at my Patreon page at patreon.com/historyphile. Your support, in any tier, is wholeheartedly appreciated. And, I will meet your wonderful selves, in another video.